air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. Then it draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and take his rouse, keeps wassail and the swaggering up spring reels, and as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, marry is't, but to my mind, though I am native here and the manner born, it is a custom. More honored in the breach than the observance, this heavy-headed rebel east and west makes us traded in tax of other nations. They clep us drunkards, and with the Swinish phrase soil our addiction. And indeed it takes from our achievements, though performed at height, the pith and marrow of our attribute. So it enhances of particular men that some vicious mole of nature in them, as is their birth, wherein they are not guilty, since nature cannot choose its own origin, but the o'ergrowth of some complexion of breaking down the pales of force of reason, or by some habit that too much o'erleaverns the form of plausive manners, that these men, carrying, I say, the stamp of defeat, being nature's livery or fortune's star, their virtues else but be as pure as grace, as infinite as man may undergo, shall in general censure take corruption from the particular fault. The dram of eel doth all noble substances of doubt to his home scandal.
Look, my lord, it comes!
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin damned. Bring with thee airs of heaven or blast from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, king, father, royal Dane. Oh, answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but tell why thy ionized bones hearsed in death. Have burst the excrements, why the sepulchre, wherein we saw thee quietly interned, hath opened the ponderous and marble jaws, and cast thee up again. What this may mean, that thou, dead corse, again in complete steel, revisit thus glimpse of the moon, making night hideous and we fools of nature, so horridly to shake our disposition, with thoughts beyond the reaches of our souls. Say what is, wherefore, and what we do.
You to go away with it, as if some impartment did desire to you alone.
Look with what courteous action it waves you to go to a more removed ground, but do not follow with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why, what should be the fear? I do not set my life in pin's feet, and for my soul, what can I do it to that? Be a thing immortal as itself, it waves me forth again, I'll follow it.
What if it tempt you toward the flood, my lord, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles over his base into the sea, and there assumes some other horrible form? What might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it! The very place puts toys of desperation without more motive into every brain that looks so many fathoms to the sea and hears it roar.
It waves me still. Go on, I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go.
My fate cries out and makes each pretty artery in the body as hardy as the Neiman mind's nerve. Still I am called. Unhand me, gentlemen. By heaven, I'll make ghost of him that lets me. I say away. Go on, I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's go. 'Tis not fit for thus to follow him.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow them.
Give him this money and these notes, Rinaldo.
I will, my lord.
You shall do marvelous. Wisely, good Rinaldo, before you visit him, to make inquiry of his behavior.
My lord, I did intend it.
Very well said. Very well said. Look you, sir, inquire me first what gangsters are in Paris, and how and who, what means and where they keep, what company, at what expense, and finding by this encompassment and drift of question that they do know my son. Come you more nearer, then your particular demands will touch it. Take you as truer some distant knowledge of him. As thus I know his father and his friends, and impart him. Do you like this, Rinaldo?
Very well, my lord.
And impart him, but you may not well. You may say not well. But if it be he, I mean, he's very wild, addicted so and so, and there put on him. What forgeries you please, marry none so rank as may dishonor him. Take heed of that. But sir, such wanton, wild, and usual slips as our companions noted and most known.
Misgiving, my lord.
Aye, or drinking, fencing, swearing, quarreling, driving. You may go so far.
My lord, that would dishonor him.
Faith, no. As you may seize in it, in the charge, you must not put another scandal on him, that he is open to incontinency. That's not my meaning, but breathe his faults so quaintly that they may seem the taints of liberty. The flash and outbreak of a fiery mind, the savageness and unreclaimed blood of general assault.
But, my good lord.
Wherefore should you do this?
Ah, my lord, I would know that.
Marry, sir, here's my drift, and I believe it is a venture of wit. You laying these slight sullies on my son, as twere a thing a little soiled the working, mark you. Your partying converse, him you would sound, having ever seen in the predominant crimes, the youth you breathe of guilty. Be assured he closes with you in his consequence. Good sir, or so, or friend, or gentleman, according to the phrase of the edition of Man and Country.
Very good, my lord.
And then, sir, does he this? He does. What was I about to say? By the mass, I was about to say something. Where did I leave?
At closes and the consequences, at friend or so, and gentleman.
At closes in the consequence. Aye, Mary. He closes thus. I know the gentleman. I saw him yesterday, or the other day. Or then, with such or such, and as you say, there was a gaming. They were o'ertook in grounds, they were falling out in tennis, or perchance I saw him enter such a house of sale, fiddle-a-set, brothel, or somewhat. See you now. Your bait of falsehood tastes this carp of truth, must degree of wisdom and of reach, wild glasses, and with the says advice, by indirections, find directions, out. So by my former lecture and advice, shall you, my son, you have me, have you not?
My lord, I have.
God be with you, fare you well.
Good, my lord.
Observe his inclination in yourself,
I shall, my lord.
and let him fly his music.
Well, my lord.
Farewell.
How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
Oh, my lord, I've been so frightened.
With what, in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, oh, Lord Hamlet with his doublet all embraced, no hat upon his head. Oh, his stockings fouled, ungartered and down-gyred to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking together with a look so piteous and purport, as if he'd been loosed out of hell. To speak horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly, I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes. For out the doors he went without their help, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself, and leads the will to his desperate undertakings, as oft as any passion under heaven. That does inflict our natures, I am sorry. What have you given him? Any hard words?
No, my good lord, but I did as you commanded. I did repel his fetters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle, and meant to reap there. But through my jealousy by heaven, it is as proper to our age to cast beyond ourselves in our opinions. As it is common for the younger sort to lack discretion, come, go we to the king. This must be known, which, being kept close, might move, more grief to hide than hate to utter.